Since you mentioned movie, the news that is doing the rounds since the last 1 month especially of your biopic that is to be made, you're India's #1 Formula One driver. How does it feel to have a film based on your life? And what are your expectations from it? Who should play your character?
It's, I think, a little bit premature to say, but the script looks quite good, actually, quite exciting. So the journey to Formula One is what they're going to capture from a very young age. How it happened, what happened in Coimbatore, when I grew up, and it's up to the Formula 2 career of mine. So who the actor is going to be, there are several options, I believe. Again, it's too early to discuss these options, but they've started finishing the script, so hopefully it'll go into production in the next few months. Yeah, that's the.
Will it be in multiple languages? Will all of India get to watch the film?
I think these days that's quite easy to do. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so lots again been spoken about how you've teamed with Ajit Kumar for the Asian D-Man series. Now, how is it to be associated with him, to work with him, both as a racer and as a person?
I mean, Ajit is really, very down to earth. He's a superstar, mega superstar, and I'll tell you what happened in Dubai 3 months ago. Dubai Autodrome is one of the most famous tracks in the Middle East, and he announced that he was racing in one of the series he drives in. It's the Porsche Super Cup, and that track had never seen a crowd like that ever before and ever since. So they had 50,000 people cheering him on and so on. So I've known Ajit for many years, and he's always been interested in racing, and he was a bike racer himself. Couldn't do it full time, but he does a lot of aero modeling. So he had the speed bug had bitten him very early on, but for him to start representing, putting together an Indian team, a truly Indian team with Indian drivers and so on was, we had a discussion. We met for dinner last year in Dubai. And then he had this plan, and he said, Naren, would you like to, I'd really like you to drive with me in this team we are creating. And I brushed it off, and I was like, yeah, surely, I'd like to do that. Nothing happened. 6 months later, he called me and said, let's do this. It is the Asian Le Mans series, which if you drive well and if you get certain results, you'll qualify as an Indian team to represent in the 24 Hours of Le Mans in France in June. So that's the goal. We're all working hard towards it. Last 18 months, he's been putting a lot of effort into his driving. As I told you, nothing comes easy. He was very talented, gifted driver, but he has to go through the what you need to. A lot of he's had his fair share of incidents and so on, but he's come out of all of that. He's become a much better driver, very competitive driver. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Our first race is in December in Sepang in Malaysia, after which in Abu Dhabi, and then hopefully we'll qualify. And a lot of things are planned, and he's a great guy, very down to earth and easy to get along with, and he wants to learn off a lot of on the driving tactics and so many other things which go with racing from professional drivers like us.
Wonderful, and it's the passion for racing that brings the two of you together. In fact, he has the most wonderful things to say about you in all his interviews where he mentions you. Tell us about that first meeting that the two of you had. How long ago was it? And while he was focusing on his acting career, how did he keep in touch with you and tell you that, this is something I really want to take on? Yeah,
I mean, as I told you, we met way back just early 2000s. I think 2001 or 2. By the time, of course, he'd known about me racing in Formula 2 at that time, World Series, which is an equivalent to Formula 2. And so we were in touch for a long time, and he actually started driving in a professional series at that time. So I used to give him a lot of tips because I knew the tracks in England, and we were constantly in touch, and that's when I knew he was a very genuine character, really down to earth, and loved speed, and always wanted to help the motorsport community, and he tried doing that way back in the early 2000s, and then went back into acting for many years. Of course, we were, always we were in touch, and then this opportunity came along, and I could never say no, and it's so genuinely happy for him and for myself to be doing this racing together.